All right. You guys enjoyed the comic so far?
Yeah.
You ready to see him go 5 rounds?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the stage with Kevin Israel, Jessica Lovelace-Chandler, and Ken Krantz. Okay, we got first round. We're going sports. And the biggest thing in sports this week is Lamar Odom has finally been found. He is apparently out of his mind on crack and hiding from the Kardashians. What do we got on that?
I think that's the totally rational response to being married to the Kardashian family. I'm surprised at that. Kanye's just one step away from a heroin binge.
Well, when I heard it happened to Lamar Odom this year, I was like, what took so long?
Yeah, I mean, like Kevin said, I get it. Like, if you're waking up with Khloe Kardashian's boner pressing into your back every morning, I'd be smoking crack, I'd be eating it, I'd be shooting it.
What about this? Football on tomorrow, everybody goes out to bars to watch the games. Do you guys bring your wives and girlfriends with you, or is that guys' time only, or girls and guys together? How do we watch football?
We watch football? No. I don't like girls that are, I'm not going to say I don't like girls that are into sports, but I feel like all these girls are like, oh, I love sports, and I'm like, stop making me look bad. Like, that's one more thing I got to do as a woman. You know, I've already got to be hot, I've got to be smart, I've got to be not talk too much. I've got, like, don't make me be into football too. I don't want to do it. That's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, I'm not that into it. Like, I just let dudes have their shit. Like, you don't have to be part of everything. You know? Like, my wife leaves me. She's got no interest in it. She doesn't pretend.
I feel an odd way about it. I don't like football nearly as much as I think I should like football. Like, Sunday, nothing. Monday, I listen to 10 minutes ESPN Radio on the way to work so people don't think I'm gay and we're talking about it during the day. And that's it. That's as much as I can handle. Kevin, what do you got?
I think I blame a lot of it on fantasy football because I was never a big stats guy, and I think fantasy football has really ruined football for a lot of people because now girls play fantasy football and they suddenly start knowing stats and shit that I don't know. So they'll be like, oh yeah, well what was Cruz's receiving average? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know, just watch the game and shut up.
Few things are as emasculating as sitting next to a woman in a bar that's going crazy about something you didn't understand in the game. All right, you guys ready to go to TV? Yes. Okay, this week kicked off the 8th season of one of the most successful daytime talk shows ever, Rachel Ray. What do you think, Ken?
I think I addressed it already. I just fucking horse shit. I don't understand. Like, the food doesn't even look good that she makes. Like, I don't get... And she doesn't even finish her words. She's like, oh, this is a maze, and this is gourd. Like, fuck you, use the extra syllable.
I'll tell you what, I don't hate Rachel Ray nearly as much as Ken, because that would be impossible. And I kind of like the show. It's like I'm kind of doing my own thing. I'm not doing what other celebrities do. I'm just going to get really excited about cooking meals in 30 minutes, and housewives are going to go crazy for me for whatever reason. My beef with Rachel Ray is the magazine. Because the photoshopping on that cover is insane. Like, every time I'm in Target and the guy in front of me did the price check, I look up at the magazines and I'm like, when did Rachel Ray's little sister get a magazine? And I think the photoshopping, here's what I understand, like, you're in Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue, you're only known for like one cover in your whole life. Photoshop the hell out of it. Forget these girls and their body images, all that nonsense. Make it look good. But if you're on TV every day of the week, sometimes multiple times a day, looking one way, and then you look completely different on the magazine, who are we really fooling? And the Photoshop guy is terrible. He's like, I went for the interview, he's like, look, I'm not an expert. I took one junior college, one credit elective at the community college annex. I think I can do this. And I'm like, go ahead, man, have at it. And then every time I'm in Target, I'm like, who put Rachel Ray's head on Jada De Laurentiis' body?
I think the only way I would be interested in Rachel Ray at all, like as anything, is if she started using the N-word, like Paula Deen style. Because like I found suddenly I wanted to watch Paula Deen. I was like, oh, racist cooking. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that would make me like her better.
Obviously, the one thing missing from the cooking network is racism. For people that have cable TV, this week we got 2 big series ending, Breaking Bad and Dexter, and we got 2 other big series starting, Sons of Anarchy and Homeland. What do you think about those shows?
I don't watch Dexter and Breaking Bad, and that is apparently a crime punishable by death to some people. Because Dexter, not so much, but Breaking Bad, you tell people in the 25 to 50-year-old category that you don't watch Breaking Bad, it's like telling a fucking Catholic priest that you don't go to church. But I hear it's awesome, and the one thing I do know is that the lead guy from Breaking Bad is going to be Lex Luthor, which I think is awesome. So I'm going to have to catch up on that.
I've never seen Breaking Bad either. Apparently he's about a guy that uses Christian he makes crystal meth in his basement and sells it and becomes really successful doing that. Now, I'm from Ocean County, so crystal meth obviously gets very close to my heart. But the thing, I hear people like crying about it. Oh, it's not a good show. He's a drug dealer. Crystal meth ruins lives. I'm like, let's be honest. Most people that are doing crystal meth weren't doing a whole lot before the crystal meth. It's like the guy was going to be a dentist and it ruined his life. It's like maybe he'd have a couple extra shifts at the dollar store, and then it was crystal meth.
I too have never seen Breaking Bad, but I like to tell people, if it's so great, why isn't it called Breaking Awesome? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it should be. Can't follow that?
I just like that you're doing a panel discussion on shit you haven't seen.
I'm not above that, obviously. I'm also hosting a comedy show at a movie theater. Where would I draw the line of things I won't do? We're moving on to the third round. We got movies. Biggest movie announcement of the month. The internet went nuts the day it leaked. Ben Affleck is playing Batman in the Man of Steel sequel. What do you think about that?
I am a huge comic book geek, and I'm gonna make a statement here that a lot of people might get upset about. I think Christian Bale was a shitty Batman. There. Yeah, see the silence? You guys are all like, oh, I never thought about that before. The movies were fantastic. The movies were amazing. Nolan is a genius. Christian Bale was a shitty Batman. He sounded like he had laryngitis through about 3 movies. Nobody ever called him on that. That was never a problem. And everybody was like, oh, he's a great actor, he's a great Batman. No, he's a shitty Batman in great Batman movies. I think Ben Affleck can't do any worse than Christian Bale did as Batman.
I think you'll be surprised.
And you know what? See, there was a lot more fucked up with Daredevil than just Ben Affleck in a weird leather outfit. Like, I agree, it was not a good movie. It was also the first of comic book movies. There was a whole new trend. Nobody knew exactly what they were doing. They were like, yeah, put him in a leather suit. That won't be weird. But I think now they have a much better feel on it. I think Ben Affleck has matured as an actor. I think he did a couple real good movies. He did The Neighborhood.
The Town.
The Town. Yeah, sure. The Neighborhood. That's the movie we're going to be making later on. But listen, I think he's going to do. I think everybody just needs to calm down. Everybody lost their minds a little bit when they announced it, because I don't know who they thought he was going to pick. But Ryan Gosling. They wanted Ryan Gosling to be Batman. I mean, like gay guys and 13-year-old girls wanted Ryan Gosling to be Batman. But I think we all need to calm down. I think he's going to do a good job.
Yeah. I too have no problem with Ben Affleck being Batman. In fact, I think if they keep making Batman movies at the rate that they're making Batman movies, eventually every actor in Hollywood's gonna have to play, you know.
I think what's funny too is like the internet should just sometimes acknowledge that these multi-million-dollar movie studios, or guys that have made billion-dollar movies, are just way smarter than them. Because a couple years ago, the internet went crazy when Heath Ledger was announced as the Joker, and it's the best probably performance of the last 10 years in any movie genre. So at some point you'd be like, all right, I think I know what's going on, but I'm gonna just leave this to professionals and let them make their movies.
But I think the one thing that they should do that would just wrap it all up is I think Matt Damon has to be Robin.
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, who wouldn't go see that movie?
Finally, the summer movie season's behind us. The big, crazy, stupid, over-the-top Hollywood blockbusters should be over. We're gonna get into some quiet, hopefully Academy Award winners in the fall, like Thor, the sequel to Hunger Games. What are you guys looking forward to this fall in the theaters?
Well, Hunger Games, I actually haven't seen, but just the title alone makes me think of high school. Because it was like, oh, anorexia, yeah, that's what that's about. I don't know. I mean, a bunch of teen girls not eating, yeah, it just sounds like high school all over again. Maybe not.
Fair enough. You guys like Hunger Games or not?
Yeah,
I like it in an embarrassing amount. I can't wait till the second one comes out. After the first one, me and my wife went to Dick's Sporting Goods and bought bow and arrows. You guys ready to move on to music? Round 4? Woo! All right. Summer ended up with a bunch of big EDM. You guys know what EDM is? Because you're old. Electronic dance music festivals. You had Electric Zoo, you had Groove Boston, you had Ultra in Miami, and a lot of times they don't end well. What do you guys think about these EDM festivals? They get like 100,000 kids in one place, and make more money than any other thing in music right now.
They just had one at Randall's Island, and a couple kids like overdosed and died on ecstasy. So Molly. I'm old. I called it ecstasy when I did it. So they canceled the second night of the festival, and like all these kids went berserk because they all paid good money to stand around and watch a guy press a button, and they were like pissed. They were like angry. Like I was reading Facebook shit where it was in the post where people were like, it's not my fault. These kids don't know how much Molly to take, and I've been. No, they were like, kids don't fucking care anymore about each other. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's bad times.
I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna start canceling like anywhere where kids are gonna overdose, like we're gonna have to get rid of parents' basements, like parking lots. I mean, kids
No
do
more
drugs.
parties in the woods.
Yeah, kids do drugs. That's what kids do.
That's sad.
This whole that is sad. I just think this whole electronic dance music, house music, whatever the hell you call it, is just so indicative of how lazy these kids are getting. Like it's just like remember you used to want to be in a band and play instruments and you watched band music videos with like the biggest thing when I was in high school was Metallica and Guns N' Roses were playing together, and I did anything to go see that concert. And those were, I mean, yes, they were all on heroin and that was a problem, but now kids they're just paying these guys millions of dollars to, like Ken said, just hit a button.
Real quick about Metallica and Guns N' Roses. All those guys were on heroin 20 years ago. They look great now.
Except Axel looks a little shitty.
Oh, yeah, okay, but 9 out of 10 of them look pretty
Yes,
good.
yeah, you're right.
The other thing, I have a problem with the EDM concerts, more with the way the media is covering that. If 3 kids died at Hot 97 Summer Jam, do you think we just all let that go and not hear about it? I'm pretty sure Fox News would be trying to shut down Hot 97 right now. Because I was raised my whole life to think, rappers are violent, don't go to rap concerts, everybody gets killed and shot at them. Doesn't happen anymore. EDM is way more dangerous because it's rich white kids. Nobody seems to want to blame the event and the music and the people putting it on. That's not funny. It's just something serious you go home and think about.
No, you know what I think it is? I think it's just like you get to be a certain age and you're like, 3 less fucking electronic music fans. It's not going to affect anybody in this theater.
It's a good place to end that one off. All right, arguably the most popular rapper alive is putting out an album on Tuesday. Drake is coming back with his 3rd album. What do you think about that? Okay, wait, before we go, what Drake are you guys clapping for? Hang on. The sweater vest, I'm drinking a glass of wine, reminiscing on my ex-girlfriend, kind of crying in the mic Drake, or I'm a badass, I started from the bottom, I'll shoot you Drake? Because there's 2 Drakes. Which one do we like better?
The first one.
Absolutely, because it's fake, right?
Yeah.
He didn't start from the bottom, he started from Degrassi. Like, I am not gonna buy, I love hip hop more than anything in my life, I promise you that. But I can't buy it, and I'll detach from reality a little bit to like people like Rick Ross, but I'm not gonna believe this kid who I see in a wheelchair every Saturday morning on TBS is a thug or a gangster. Stop it, Drake. Give it up one more time for my man Kevin Israel. That's the Lovelace-Chandler and Krantz.